On the next Canine Corner, these dogs are making a splash. Erlene Wynn shows us how her hydro fitness classes are helping dogs stay fit and strong. Denise Fleck of Sunny Dog Inc. is here to teach us some dog first aid tips. And want to know how to keep your dog cool during these summer months? We got your questions answered. All this coming up on the next Canine Corner. Hi there, I'm Riannon Trutanich, your host for Canine Corner, the show that your dog will give 2 paws up. Now the dog days of summer may be upon us, but don't worry, we have you and your canine companion covered. We'll tell you the best ways to keep your dog cool during the summer heat, and we stop by Erlene Wynn's hydro fitness class at the VCA Kennel Club. But first, Denise Fleck is here to tell us all about pet safety and pet first aid. I'm here with Denise Fleck of Sunny Dog Inc. to talk about pet safety and pet first aid. So Denise, tell me, what are some pet safety tips that every owner should know and practice?
Every owner should know where their emergency animal care clinic is. It doesn't matter if you live with 10 people in your house. It's Murphy's Law. When the dog cuts his paw or the cat isn't breathing, it's going to be after veterinary hours and you're going to probably be home alone. So you need to know how to get to that place on your own. I'm not talking about your veterinarian. I'm talking about an emergency animal clinic. One that's either open 24/7 or opens at 6 in the evening and closes 8 the next morning to fill that gap of time when your veterinarian is not open. But know where this place is. Drive there in the next week so that you don't have it on your worry list. You're not worrying, is it on the right side of the street or the left? Where do I go in? What services do they offer? Know how they accept payment. These are all important things to find out first because animals are so perceptive. They pick up on our emotions. So when there's an emergency, we want to make sure we're as calm as possible so that they don't pick that up.
Now, we all prepare ourselves for natural disasters with emergency kits, here in California, earthquake kits. What can we do to make sure our pets are safe during that time if something happens?
Well, there's some of the obvious which I'll talk about, but some things people may not think about are to, number one, have a pet alert sticker on a window or near your front door. That lets first responders know that you have animals inside. You can get them at various places, but it's just something you can print up on the computer that says, I have 2 dogs, a cat, a bird, and a gecko, and a contact number for you so that sometimes we won't be let back into our streets or our houses, and that way when first responders have rescued the humans and they start going through, they can help find your pets and get them where they need or get your contact information to get them to safety. Another thing I recommend is for you to have pictures of your pet in something waterproof and pictures of your pet with you. That serves as great identification if your pet goes missing and proof that if an animal is at the shelter that he belongs to you. Particularly if you have pets that have different markings on their fur, photograph them from different sides. That can be like a fingerprint proving that that is your pet. And then there's the obvious, the pet first aid kit, anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks worth of food and water. If you come across an animal who appears to be be having some sort of difficulty, number one rule is you want to really do a safe approach because this could be a sleeping animal or a deaf pet. Most of the time he'd be on the ground, so as you approach, just stomp your feet a little bit and call out to him, "Doggy, doggy, are you awake?" Because even a deaf pet would feel that vibration. And the thing is, you want him to respond before you actually put these lips on that snout. You don't want to surprise an animal. Once you've determined that he does need your help, place your hand on the side of the chest. What you're doing is feeling for the rise and fall. Is he breathing? If not, you want to pull back on the chin to straighten out the throat area. You're trying to open the airway. Think of the airway as the straw for your favorite frozen beverage. If it's bent over like this, you can't suck the good stuff through. But if it's straightened out, it will flow. So by pulling back on the chin, you can get possibly the air to flow again. But if it doesn't, you want to extend the tongue just past the canine teeth, like an inch, just a tiny bit, so that if something's lodged there, it moves forward. Seal off the mouth and blow directly into the nostrils. This is where it's very different from human rescue breathing, because on us humans, we pinch off the nose and breathe in the mouth. Our dogs and cats' smile line comes farther around their face, so if we just breathe in the mouth, the air's going to go out the cheeks. So we're going to close off the mouth and breathe directly into the nostrils, 2 slow, full breaths. Once we realize we've gotten air into the pet, we want to then check his pulse. And the best place to check it is at the femoral artery. Think of the big femur bone in the leg. Place 2 fingers at the knee and roll to the inner fleshy thigh. That's where you're going to find the pulse. If there's no pulse, we begin CPR. To find your target zone, bend the elbow back just slightly, and where it touches the chest, that's where we put our hands. For medium to large dogs, the heel of the hand goes there, other fingers on top, and it's best if we lock our elbows and just rock, because if we're using our biceps, we're going to tire very quickly. And this way we're just kind of rocking and can endure it. And we're going to do 30 compressions, compressing 1/3 the width of the chest. It's a significant amount of pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and then we do 2 more breaths. We do this for 4 rounds and we recheck for a pulse. If there's no pulse, we just start right over, but in about 3 to 4 minutes, we do want to get to the veterinarian.
Can we give it a try? Can I
Absolutely.
try? Absolutely.
All right, let's feel for the rise and fall. Is the dog breathing?
Okay.
If there's no breath, we want to pull back on the chin to open the airway. Give him every possible chance to breathe on his own. If breathing still doesn't resume, extend the tongue just past the canine teeth, close off his mouth, and here's where we're going to give 2 breaths directly into the nostrils. How'd you do so far?
I felt his tummy moving.
Wonderful. Now we want to come and feel for the pulse here at the femoral artery inside the thigh.
Okay.
If there is a pulse, we're just going to concentrate on the rescue breathing. But if there isn't, we're going to begin compressions. Find that location by gently bending the elbow back, and that's where the heel of our hand is going to go. This isn't a movement that would hurt the pet. It's just like you or I bending at the shoulder, so it's at the joint there. So you're going to place the heel of your hand right here, cross your other fingers on top, and most time people like to lock them over. And then remember to lock those elbows, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Realize CPR, whether it's for a dog or a human, isn't a cure in itself. By doing CPR, you're trying to keep that life-giving blood and oxygen flowing to all the tissues, keeping them viable and alive. But by doing CPR, you haven't given the dog antidote for poison. You haven't performed surgery to stop bleeding. You haven't cured a disease. But if you can keep him alive and get him quickly to the veterinarian, he or she hopefully can give the antidote, can perform the surgery, or can, save your pet.
Well, thank you so much, Denise, for being here and showing me how to do this. And everyone out there should learn how to do CPR for their pet. And thank you for being here today.
It was bow wow wonderful.
For more information on Sunny Dog Inc. or to attend one of Denise's CPR classes, please visit sunnydoginc.com or call 818-951-7962. Those are some great tips. Denise will be back later in the show to answer your questions about pet safety in the warm weather. We're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be jumping into a swimming therapy class for dogs.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Welcome back to Canine Corner. I'm your host, Riannon Trutanich. Now, swimming can be a great way to beat the heat, but Erlene Wynn's hydro fitness classes at the VCA Kennel Club in Torrance are helping dogs rebuild strength and get fit. They swim, they splash, and they get a good workout.
My term for hydro fitness is anything to help the dog get more fit, whether they're recovering from an injury, they're recovering post-surgery, or they're just a dog that is out of shape and needs to, rebuild some endurance, muscle tone, etc.
And the hydro fitness exercise will get them in shape.
They say roughly that 5 minutes in the pool is equal to 15-minute jog. So a half hour in the pool, they're getting a lot of exercise, there's no impact, and they love it.
Erlene tailors the hydro fitness program for each dog.
We have different levels. I have aquasage, which would be for dogs that are the most infirmed. There's mostly massage. We're doing a little bit of swimming. As they become fitter, or you have a dog that is more fit, we do fit swim, which is more swimming with the massage. We do offer swim lessons, so if you have a dog and you would just like to get them in the pool, we'll teach them how to swim. And then for younger dogs, we just have aquasage, which is just swimming, and we do laps.
Many of Erlene's clients are older dogs, but dogs of any age can benefit from the program.
I've been doing this for over 4 years, and I'm just still constantly amazed at what the water can do for dogs.
And Erlene isn't the only one amazed by the results.
She's active in the pool.
Oh yeah,
the way she grabs those tennis balls.
She's a happy dog. She's high energy level, but like no endurance before this, and now endurance. She's great. I can be happier. She's happy.
Zora's today was the 7th visit, and she's developed muscle mass now in her hips. I live between 3 levels in my townhouse, and it's like, okay, up and down the stairs, I don't have to use her assist halter like I was, and her meds have been cut in half, basically.
And seeing those results is important to Erlene.
That's the best part of this, is watching the dogs improve and get better and stronger.
From the life jacket the dogs wear to their owner poolside cheering them on and giving them treats, Erlene has created a positive environment for the pups.
I'm in the pool with the dog constantly. My most important thing in my book is the trust and the sense of security.
One dog owner wasn't worried about her dog getting in the pool, but instead about being unable to get her out.
Jazz is a water dog, which I'm lucky, but I've seen her with other dogs, and Erlene is wonderful, so I had no fear. I was more afraid of I can't get Jazz out. She's escaped and jumped back in when we've been done before.
Hydro fitness is fun for the dogs, and while keeping them healthy and strong is the most important part.
Their lifespan is too short. Every day we can get extra with them, let alone a year or two. And typically most of my clients feel like I've given them a year or two extra on their dog's life.
For more information on the hydro fitness classes, please visit tailwaggersmassage.com. The classes are by appointment and held at the VCA Kennel Club. And if you mention Canine Corner when you book your hydro fitness appointment, you'll receive a 15% discount this month. Now, between the warm weather and outdoor activities, it can be difficult to keep your dog cool during the summer. Denise FLECK is back with us to answer all your questions about pet safety for when it's hot outside.
Hi, my name is Jerry Herbers, and I frequently walk my dogs in this park. Do you have any suggestions on protecting them so I keep them cool in this hot weather?
Well, you want to make sure he always has plenty of shade and water. It's really important. Dogs are 3/4 water just like us humans and like the planet Earth, so they need that fresh water all the time. Should he happen to be in a backyard and have a water bowl out, you want to make sure that water bowl is in a shady location all day long. Notice when the sun moves where that might be beating down on the water bowl. So it needs to be shady all day long and possibly hooked up to a spigot so that it refills. Because retrievers in particular, but other dogs too, often swim in their water bowl. They try to cool themselves off, because that's something we do when a pet's too hot. We cool them off from the paws up. So if he's, emptied his water bowl by 10 in the morning, he's not going to have it when he really needs it. So in a shady location and a water bowl that refills so that he has water all day long. dogs can get sunburn just like humans. Let me start off by saying what you don't want to do is shave your dog all the way down. You can get a summer or a puppy cut, whatever you'd like to call it, so the hair's cut shorter to take off some of that bulk on some breeds, but you never want to shave them down because the hair actually insulates them from the heat and protects the skin. But fairer skinned dogs or ones that are outside more, if they don't have enough shade to retreat to, they can get a sunburn, and it can be a bad one. So you can use sunblock for toddlers, or they do now have some sunscreens for pets, but you're going to only want to put that on the nose because that's the part that can get sunburn. But this actual part of the muzzle here, when you look at your dog, there's less fur there. You can actually see skin. You don't want to put it on the black or the pink or the brown part there, because what's going to happen? The tongue's going to come out and lick it off. And even though it's supposed to protect the skin, you don't want it ingested, because most sunscreens have some zinc in them, and a pet can get zinc toxicity. Another place you might apply sunscreen is on upright-eared dogs, right on the tips of the ears, because skin is showing there. And if you have ones that like to lay belly up, you can put a little bit on the belly. But just, use the least amount as possible, because that's something our pets do that human kids don't. They will lick medicines off, and then we start to have other problems with toxicity if they ingest things. Well, the first thing I'd like to recommend is that you rehydrate early, that you stop frequently and give him little bits of water. Don't wait till you get to the top of the canyon and then let him tank up on a bowl, because then he's going to gulp air. It could even bloat him, or he'll just spit it right back up. Keep rehydrating as you go. But if your pet is getting too warm, obviously get him into a cooler environment and start cooling him off from the paws up. Get the feet, the pits, the groin, and the belly skin wet first. Because if you just start hosing off the back of a dog, unless he's a pitty or a greyhound or a pet without much fur, most of that initial water is just going to skim off. Pets don't have sweat glands all over their bodies like we do. They basically have an evaporative cooling system called panting, where they're trying to take that cooler air over their tongue. But if that doesn't cool them off enough, where they do release heat from the body is the pads of the feet. So we want to start putting the cool in there and start cooling off the blood going through those blood vessels. So cool them off from the paws up, either with a hose, get them into a tub, a wading pool, a sink, but only get them wet up to the belly skin. Don't immerse them up to the neck, because you'll cool them too quickly. One last quick tip on this is to use rubbing alcohol, just on a little cloth, and wipe the inner flaps of the ears, the belly skin, and the pads of the feet. That's very cooling and can start that cooling process as well. Well, number one, make sure it's a fenced enclosure that he can't get out of, so that he will stay out of harm's way. But make sure he has that water in a shady spot all day long, and look around again for the shade. You may have a beautiful tree in your backyard, but at different times of the year it doesn't provide as much shade because of the leaf cover. And there may be times as the sun moves that beautiful shade is cast over the fence into the neighbor's yard, so your pet doesn't have shade. So make sure he has plenty of shade and water. You may hook up a misting system that could help keep him cool. There are gel and cooling pads that you could keep in a shady location that he can retreat to. And if you feel safe about it, you could put out a wading pool, but just a minimal amount of water, because you certainly wouldn't want a drowning incident, but just something that he can get into and keep that belly and his paws cool during the day.
If you have a question, contact us and we'll be sure to get you the right answer. Call us at 310-618-5762 or email us at caninecorner@torranceca.gov. That's all the time we have today. Thanks for joining us here on Canine Corner. I'm Riannon Trutanich, and we'll see you next time.